Hi, everyone. Today, I want to share a new story with you. Enjoy. This is the story of Emma, a pilot who discovered Islam in the sky. For years, she only believed in the science of flying, but one event at 30,000 feet changed everything and led her on an unexpected journey. Emma Reynolds grew up in Boston, a lively city on the East Coast of the United States. She always loved flying. While other kids played with dolls, Emma would run around, pretending to be an airplane. Her dad, a physics professor, supported her interest in flight. He even helped her make paper airplanes that flew higher than anyone else's. "The sky has no limits, just like your potential," he would say. Those words stuck with Emma as she worked hard to become a pilot. The aviation industry in the US was tough, especially for women, but Emma was determined. She worked hard in college, studying aerospace engineering, and trained to be a pilot at the same time. Her skills in math and physics made her stand out, but it was her calmness under pressure that really made her shine. By 28, Emma became a first officer at Global Airways, one of North America's top airlines. Just 5 years later, she became a captain, setting records as one of the youngest women to fly large planes. She flew all over the world, traveling across oceans, mountains, and deserts. On paper, Emma had everything she wanted. Her parents were proud, she made good money, and her achievements were featured in magazines. But sometimes, after a long flight, she felt empty. She would lie in her apartment and wonder, is this all there is? Flying no longer felt exciting, and the awards didn't make her happy. She felt a gap inside her that no success could fill. Emma had grown up in a family that didn't focus on religion. Her mother occasionally mentioned her Lebanese Christian roots, but faith wasn't important to them. Emma always thought that being scientific meant she couldn't believe in religion. But her views started to change during a regular flight from Chicago to Dubai. Her co-pilot had gotten sick, and his replacement was a quiet, respectful man named Omar. As they prepared for takeoff, Emma saw Omar pause, close his eyes, and say something quietly. "Are you praying for safety?" Emma asked, smiling a little. Omar nodded. "I asked Allah to guide our hands and protect everyone on board." Emma was curious, but didn't say anything else as they got ready for the flight. The flight went smoothly at first, but halfway over the Atlantic, they hit an unexpected storm. The plane shook as it was caught in severe turbulence. Emma stayed calm on the outside but was thinking through emergency steps in her mind. The passengers were panicking, screaming behind the cockpit door. The storm got worse, and alarms started ringing. "We need to change altitude," Emma said. But when she tried to adjust the plane's course, several instruments stopped working. For the first time, Emma felt real fear. Omar remained calm. "Captain, may I say a prayer?" he asked. With no other options, Emma agreed. Omar started praying in Arabic, his voice steady and peaceful despite the chaos around them. As he prayed, Emma felt something amazing happen. A calmness washed over her, something she had never felt before. Suddenly, the lightning outside the plane disappeared, not slowly, but all at once, like someone had flipped a switch. The turbulence stopped just as quickly. Emma was so surprised, she checked her instruments twice. Everything showed they were now flying in clear skies. "This doesn't make sense," Emma whispered, staring out the window. "With Allah, nothing is impossible," Omar replied calmly. After they landed safely in Dubai, Emma couldn't stop thinking about what had happened. The way the storm had disappeared so suddenly didn't match anything she knew about weather. Before Omar left the airport, Emma walked over to him. "The prayer you said, what was it?" she asked. He answered, "Verses from Surah Ar-Ra'd. It talks about thunder and lightning as signs of Allah's power." Emma hesitated, then asked, "Could you suggest something for me to read about Islam?" Omar smiled and recommended she read an English translation of the Quran. He also offered to connect her with someone named Noor, a teacher in Boston. Back home, Emma started reading the Quran. At first, it was just curiosity. But soon, she felt deeply connected to what she was reading. The idea of Tawhid, that there is only one God, felt simple yet powerful to her, especially with her scientific way of thinking. Noor, a professor at Boston University who had also converted to Islam many years ago, became Emma's guide. They talked about faith, life, and how Islam fits into the modern world. Noor never pushed Emma. She just answered her questions and shared her own journey. Islam doesn't tell you to stop thinking, Noor explained. It just reminds you that humans don't know everything. Sometimes, we need to be open to something greater than ourselves. This made sense to Emma. She began reading more about the science and history in Islamic texts and was amazed to find descriptions of things like stars and the universe written long before scientists discovered them. Emma kept her search private. As a woman in a male-dominated job, she had worked hard to be respected. She didn't want people judging her for exploring a faith many didn't understand. 6 months later, Emma was flying a plane to Jeddah when something strange happened again. While flying over the Mediterranean Sea at night, all the lights and systems in the cockpit suddenly shut off. The plane was in total darkness. Even the backup systems failed, something that almost never happens. Emma felt fear, but without thinking, she whispered, "Bismillah, in the name of Allah," words she had read in the Quran. Right then, a soft light filled the cockpit. It didn't come from any lamp or screen, but it was just bright enough to see the most important instruments. Slowly, the plane systems came back on. Her co-pilot, Helena, looked shocked. What just happened? Where did that light come from? Emma had no scientific answer. Later, the plane's black box recorded the system failure and the strange recovery, but there was no record of the mysterious light. After this second event, Emma felt even more sure that there were things science couldn't explain. She began studying Islam more seriously and even started praying regularly. The emptiness she used to feel began to fade, replaced by peace and purpose. While on a layover in Saudi Arabia, Emma made a spontaneous decision to visit Mecca for Umrah. She wasn't officially a Muslim yet, but she felt a strong pull to go. Standing before the Kaaba, Islam's holiest site, surrounded by thousands of people all praying together, Emma started to cry. She felt a deep connection she had never felt before. In that moment, standing in Mecca, surrounded by strangers but feeling deeply connected, Emma knew she had found what she had been looking for. When she got back to Boston, she officially became a Muslim by saying the Shahada in front of Noor and a small group of Muslims. Ashhadu alla ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Saying these words felt both powerful and natural, like she was finally speaking a truth her heart already believed. Emma's new faith brought some difficulties. Her mother worried and feared she had changed too much. Some co-workers started acting distant, judging her based on news stories instead of who she really was. The airline's uniform rules didn't match her wish to dress more modestly. But with every challenge, help showed up in surprising ways. Her father, who wasn't religious, supported her decision and stood by her. A senior female pilot helped her work with the airline to adjust her uniform. Passengers, both Muslim and non-Muslim, often thanked her for being a visible example of a Muslim woman breaking stereotypes in the cockpit. Instead of making her job harder, Islam actually helped Emma become a better pilot. Praying 5 times a day gave her structure during long travel days. Fasting during Ramadan helped her develop self-control. Most importantly, her belief in a higher purpose made each flight more meaningful. Every safe landing felt like more than just a job. It felt like a way to serve and protect others. Over time, Emma became known not just for her flying skills, but for her calm, kind, and thoughtful way of working. Her short prayer before every flight became as important as her checklist. One day, while landing in Chicago during a heavy snowstorm, her co-pilot noticed her calm. "How do you stay so steady in moments like this?" he asked. Emma smiled and said, "I do my best, but I know I'm not in control of everything. That helps me stay calm. I'm not carrying the weight alone." What started as a career focused on success had now become something much deeper, a way to live her faith every day through focus, care, honesty, and service. 3 years after becoming Muslim, Emma started a program to mentor young women who wanted to become pilots, especially those from underrepresented groups. She gave talks at schools and community centers, showing others that being a Muslim woman and a professional pilot work together, not against each other. Faith doesn't hold you back, she told them. It gives you something strong to stand on while you aim high. 5 years after the storm that first changed her life, Emma flew the same route across the Atlantic. When they reached the same area where the storm had suddenly ended, she quietly said a prayer of thanks. Being a Muslim pilot in America still came with some struggles. Some passengers asked to be moved when they saw her hijab. In some airports, she went through extra checks. But Emma handled these moments with patience and professionalism, using them as chances to change people's minds through her actions. "The skies taught me how to fly with skill," she once wrote in her journal. "But faith taught me why it matters, because every life I carry is valuable to Allah. Every safe landing is a trust fulfilled." Emma believed that the most important tools a pilot could have weren't just in the cockpit. They were faith in God and guidance from Islam. Tools that helped her not just fly through the sky, but move through life with peace and purpose. Every flight became more than a trip through the clouds. It became a reminder that the soul is also on a journey, always moving closer to home.